Today I'm going to be sharing with you my 5 favorite crafty tools that I use within my craft studio. So if this is something you're interested in seeing, please do stick around. Welcome guys to my creative corner. This is Claudette, where I create projects using inks, papers, stamps, mixed media, embellishment, and a whole lot of joy. So if you're new to my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you can be notified when I upload my latest videos. So let's get into my top 5 favorite crafty tools. So I am going to start with number 5. So number 5, it's a bone folder. I'm going to list all these products in a description down below. This bone folder is by Stampin' Up. And what I love about this bone folder, you could do so many things. Besides burnishing your creases and making those tight, you could use it as a scoring tool. You could use it to score your paper too as well. So I'm going to get my scoring tool. Some people do it this way instead of actually using the scoring blade. They put that in here and they run their bone folder through that and make your scoring lines. So you could also use a ruler to score too as well. You just put that along, just the same concept of this. You put your ruler along the side of the paper and you go ahead and you score, so you don't necessarily have to have a scoring tool. So you could use this with your ruler too as well. I also like to use the bone folder for those hard to reach areas. For instance, if you're gluing down a layer to the bottom of your boxes. So next up is the piercing tool. I love me this piercing tool. And this was sold by Stampin' Up. They don't sell them anymore, but I do like them. What they have now is the take your pick tool, and they do have a piercing tool to the end and a spatula. So they have multi-purpose with this, but I really love this one because this point is much longer, it's much thinner. So I like this. You could use this to pick up your embellishment too as well, your rhinestones. You could use it to make those stitch marks. For instance, we have stitched dies that have these little markings. You could use your piercing tools to create that design too as well. I also love using the piercing tool for when you have those intricate dies and your cardstock is in here. So you just take this and poke through those little holes to help your dies to come out a little easier. My next fave is my silicone mat. This is nice. This is usually used for protecting your work surfaces when you're using glue. And usually once you put your glue, if your glue gets on your silicone mat, you're able to roll that up and take it off. It comes off nicely. You could also use your silicone mat to do reverse images, just like in this picture, because usually typically you stamp, when you stamp, it's stamped in one direction. I did a video showing you how to get reverse images or mirror images. I'm going to list that to the above here, so you could click on that and check out how you could do reverse images. When I have my little dies, my delicate dies like this, what I would do is I would take my multi-purpose glue, my wet glue. You could just add a little bit here on your mat. I take a sponge. I just have a little clip on my sponge. I dab that in and I just add that to the back of my die. And again, once this is dry, you just roll that up and it comes right off of your mat. This is the Stamparatus by Stampin' Up. This is such an amazing tool. You could use this in lieu of your clear stamping blocks. And a couple things that I like about the Stamparatus. The first main thing that it was made for is that when you're stamping, so we're going to take a stamp image, you're going to place it where you would like it to be. You're going to go ahead and pick that up, okay? So we're going to get a scrap piece of paper. So we're going to put that paper down. They also come with 2 magnets. I also did a video on how you use your Stamparatus. So I'll also list that, so you could click on that icon to the top of this video if you want to check that out. So what you're going to do, you have your stamp in place. And I'm going to show you the beauty of this is Once you're stamping with your clear blocks, if you missed a spot or if it did not come out as dark as you like, it's hard for you to reposition and get it in the exact spot without messing up your image. So we're going to go ahead and stamp up this image, and then we're going to go ahead and place it down on our cardstock. So we missed a couple pieces here and here to the end. All right, so what you're going to do is just re-ink up your stamp, and then you're going to close your door on that image, give it a nice little rub, and there you have better coverage. And it's safe because you could use this in lieu of your clear blocks, so you won't have to buy as many blocks. And also you won't be throwing out a lot of your cardstock because you have made a lot of errors. So it would help you save in that regards. Also, you could do a different stamping techniques with this Stamparatus, and we call it hinge stamping. I also created a video on hinge stamping technique. It comes with 2 different plates, and you could just move it along here and do your hinge stamping, and you could create a card like this, so you have the same spaces in between. So I really love that. You could really save a lot with the Stamparatus. Now for my number 1 crafty tool in my craft studio is this ruler right here. And this ruler, this is a 12-inch ruler, and this is by Lawn Fawn. And this, if you're like me, they have the measurements. I need to have those measurements. I don't know them by heart. They have the measurements in 1/8, 1/16, if you see that. Okay, the only thing with this is sometimes it could be difficult with seeing those numbers. So they have 0 to 12 to the top bar right there, and then they have 0 in the middle here, and on each side it goes to 6 inches. So you could center a 12-inch piece of paper. You could center your 12-inch piece of paper right down in the middle, and because you have that 0 in the middle and you have 6 inches on either side. So this is an awesome tool. Another tip that I would say when you have this tool is you could take some crafting tape, like I have the purple crafting tape. Some people would use a marker, but you could just take your purple crafting tape and run it to the back side. So that's the back side. So you turn it to the front side, and there you have your numbers show up so much better. So I hope you guys got creative value from this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. So let me bring in my 5 favorite crafty tools for you once again. So the number 1 was my ruler. Next up was my Stamparatus. Then we had my silicone mat where you could rub the glue right off of it. Then we had the piercing tool. And then number 5 was my bone folder. Thank you guys for tuning into my creative corner. This is Claudette, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.